little boogie boogie every day.
BBC Radio 1 FM plays the best new bands. For the most music, there is only one FM.
The man who catches these criminals will get a big reward.
A videotape of the cartoon film The Little Mermaid. Oh, it's wet!
A remote hill farm in need of strapping men.
1860, big hands, clean driving licence.
Right, I'm off to bag a trout.
Shut up, Liz!
I'm Fiona Farrington-Cock.
Oh, you caught something then?
He does odd jobs for us.
In his underpants.
The comic strip presents Queen of the Wild Frontier, Thursday at 9 on BBC2.
Here's a look at tomorrow evening on BBC2, beginning with tongue-in-cheek espionage at 6 in the film Blindfold, starring Rock Hudson and Claudia Cardinale. Now that the military regimes of Latin America have disintegrated, access has been gained for the first time by assignment to files kept by the Paraguay secret police, which document 40 years of oppression and corruption. That's at 7:45. A new series from Delia Smith begins at 8:30, demonstrating how to make the most of the fresh produce available through the summer months. And then a difficult and emotional quantum leap for Sam Beckett at 9 o'clock. 40 Minutes follows a group of new recruits in the Australian Army at 9:50, all of whom are women who spend 3 months learning to fight, march and take the flak like a man. And with Newsnight at 10:40 and the Late Show at 11:25, that's Tuesday night. Back to this evening now on BBC2 as we join Michael Fish for a rundown of the weather news.
Good evening to you. The message is still the same as it was yesterday lunchtime. In other words, take care of those tender plants because there's a fair amount of frost to come in the days ahead, or rather nights ahead. Not so in the northwest though, because this particular frontal system, for a while at least, will bring along some wind, cloud and rain, but further to south with that high pressure things are much more settled. In fact, that cloud's been already pushing into northwest Scotland, the rain about to arrive in the far west, and it's those northwestern parts that'll have those outbreaks of rain during the course of the night. But at least that cloud and rain will hold the temperatures up, and the wind's freshening all the while as well, coming in from the southwest. Quite a strong wind that, but as further to the south, winds are very light, or in fact little or no wind at all in places. So with those clear skies and light winds, it's hardly surprising that those temperatures have tumbled away this evening. There will be a widespread ground frost, 1 or 2 places having a touch of air frost. Around the coast, though, you'll stay in the clear, as it were, and that northwestern corner for the reasons we've already seen. During the course of tomorrow, those fronts will move away, still leave quite a run of fairly strong southwesterly winds, but high pressure dominating the scene. So for much of the country, it's going to be a dry day with a good deal of sunshine. But in those northwestern parts, there will be some outbreaks of rain to begin with, but I think that will tend to die out as the day wears on. And 1 or 2 places, especially in sheltered sort of eastern areas, should brighten up a little bit. Temperatures tomorrow in most parts of the country around about the normal for the time of year, in other words a little bit warmer than it has been. Again though, around some of the coast with the wind coming in off the cool sea, those temperatures will be held down a couple of degrees or so. High pressure still well and truly on the scene through Wednesday and indeed on Thursday too, although you probably notice the way those isobars are packing in there across the south. So in the latter part of the week, southern parts of the country I think will become quite windy with a fairly strong easterly wind, and again that's going to make some of those coastal areas feel rather cold. But for much of the country, a very simple story, dry with a good deal of sunshine and reasonably warm. Hasn't been all that warm in western parts of Europe during today. The eastern areas haven't been bad. And I think the scene for tomorrow is of sort of a west-east split. The west, where the high pressure is, mostly fine weather. In the Mediterranean and in eastern areas of Europe, those thunderstorms are continuing, and some of them are pretty heavy, as indeed they have been the last few days. Looking further ahead into the middle and latter part of the week, as for the continent, well again we have that high pressure in the north, keeping the weather there fairly fine, but in central parts and down in the Mediterranean it remains pretty unsettled with further thundery showers. Anyhow, I've gone a long way ahead. Let's just recap for you for tomorrow. The northwest, cloudy and windy with some rain to begin with. For the rest of the country, after a chilly start, dry with sunny periods, some more frost incidentally coming along tomorrow night. That's all from me. A very good night to you.
With the time just coming up to 24 minutes past midnight, we're just about to call it a night here on BBC Two. If you'd like to tune across to BBC Radio, though, you'll find that Bob Harris is in full flow on Radio 1 now, and Steve Madden is well into the night ride on Radio 2. I do hope you've enjoyed your evening with us and that you'll join us again tomorrow. Until then, may I wish you all a very happy and peaceful night. On behalf of all of the team on BBC Two, this is Halyna Kozak wishing you a very good night. Good night.